Okay. Good old Benjamin will get some of that. Wait, is that a crab? It's a kill crab! Fucking die! No! What the fuck? What? Fuck it. Hello and welcome to the 7 Seas of the Proving Grounds. Today we're going to talk about Legend of the Skyfish, to stop the evil Skyfish who has came and dominated the world. This is another wet art game, as we've said with multiple of these titles. These come in interesting ideas to complete shelfware. I would say this falls in a gray middle area. This isn't necessarily a bad game. This is just a really simple game for anyone who has a lot of gaming under their belt. And because of that, I feel like generally my audience isn't going to obviously be too interested in the title. I mean, we're people who play a lot of JRPGs and Dark Souls and stuff, so this, I feel like, isn't the type of easy where you just simply relax on. But that's just my opinion on that subject. It is a functional game, though. So, looking at it, when I first saw it, when it first came out for Wit Arts, that it gave me a very Zelda-ish vibe, and it kinda is a very simplistic little dungeons. So basically, the story in the game is the Skyfishes came and conquered the world, and you're the only person left to save the world, and you're taken away to go and do such. You have 3 lands, which are each 15 levels each, and generally you can basically finish a land within about an hour or so. You're talking about averagely like an hour to, averagely like 3 to 4 hours, but and that's probably assuming if you just go really fast and not look for all the equipment items, which is the only real customization you get in the game. You got your cap, your weapon, basically your fishing rod, and your angle that you have on your fishing rod. Your starting ones don't have any special effects, but other ones you find throughout the islands do give you a few little perks, but nothing game-breaking or anything. So you can pick ones that particularly helpful for you with that, or for what you wish. Or you can just stick to the default, make the game as hard as you can. Because, well, it's a very simple game. Shipper. Basically, you're going to be dealing with very minor button pressing, moving blocks, and a lot of hook shot. Your fishing rod is a basically overgrown hook shot. Basically, as a character, all you can do is swing your fishing pole to attack enemies and hook shot things. Hook-shotting an enemy will drag them to you. Hook-shotting a box will drag it forward. Hook-shotting hooks will drag you to the hook. There is a lot. This might as well be Legend of the Hook Shot, because that's like going to be like 80% of your actions in this game, other than walking on buttons and killing enemies. Like, really, there's a lot of hook shot action in this game. Lots and lots. There aren't really minor ways or alternate ways of finishing islands. The only, like, how should I say, sidetracking you'll do is for equipment chests, which the other items are all on different islands. Something I do like about the main menu map, it will actually show you what islands have chests on them, and the lid will be gone when you have that chest. So that's a nice little detail, in case you're trying to go back and find what chests you missed. But honestly, if you do a pretty thorough job looking around, you should get them all. But there is, I believe, one off the top of my head I remember. If I hadn't looked a different way, I would have had to replay the stage, I believe, to get the chest. So, but they're very short stages. This is an excellent game for the Nintendo Switch for car trips. I know I always say that a lot about these kind of games, but this is definitely short stages, easy to pick up and put away. That stages aren't super long, And even if you have to turn off in the middle of a stage, it's not a very long stage. Not going to be losing a lot of progress in that. So, great for car trips, but I did play this on PlayStation 4, as a lot of these I usually get all. But I don't see this really being one of those type of games that probably don't run very well on Switch. Doesn't have anything going too crazy. Music and aesthetically very simple looking game. Aesthetically not horrible looking, kind of has like a paint look to it. Personally, I prefer like the Japanese paintbrush kind of look myself. Don't really see that too often anymore these days, but there's some nice games that pull off some very nice aesthetics with that look, but kind of has a kind of a painty look. Probably was made with Flash stuff. I do have to say, and this might come off the wrong way, but the island way of how the islands all kind of do give kind of a mobile vibe, and that shouldn't be too shocking because the game is on mobile, so that's not super shocking. But honestly, you get what you see here. It gets a little harder as you get further in, but honestly, like I said, if you're familiar with Legend of Zelda or games of that caliber and have finished multiple, this is likely going to be a super walk in the park for you until you get like near the end, and then maybe some of the spike trap stuff will throw you off a little bit, but not enough to really detour you much. The game does feature 3 bosses also, not anything too astounding. Honestly, I think the big selling point for this when it comes to everything that ain't on Switch is trophies and achievements. Looking at the PlayStation, there's 61.8% of people have this trophy on PSN. So that there should tell you a lot of people bought this for trophies. And I'm sure lots of people bought for easy achievements. Not my forte. I know there's an audience for that kind of thing, just simply trying to get the highest score, regardless of playing good or bad games. But not my forte, and not what I recommend personally to you. But, you know, you're the one who knows what you enjoy in that. So, you know, if that's you, then, well, this is about a 3-hour commitment to get that. So, 3-4 hours. So, pretty short time frame for platinum or 1,000 points or whatever, if that is your particular taste. But honestly, this is a pretty forgettable title in my opinion. It doesn't really have anything that sticks out in the memory myself. Like I said, Red Art games at best, until some of the recent titles. Like recently they got some really big titles. They just got the guy who made Suikoden. You know, he did a Kickstarter for a new IP, which is basically indie Suikoden. It's Suikoden, but not Konami Suikoden. You know, it's his own, I own the IP shit. And it had a short download prequel thing. I'm not sure how long it is. It's definitely not going to be likely be 30 hours long, I doubt. But that came out, and apparently they snagged doing the physical release on it. That is another big win for them. That's like their 3rd big title they got their hands on. So Red Art Games is on a roll on some of the recent announcements. But some of a lot of their titles before, and they still have a lot of these kind of titles. Some feel like very bad shelfware, and other ones feel like interesting ideas that unique people can appreciate, but depending on the person may or may not enjoy as much. That'll be more subjective. I definitely feel like this is not a very unique title, so it's pretty forgettable, but it's a pretty cheap title if you want it digitally. But physically, you know, this is something I'd probably just recommend getting on the cheap. So, when it comes to the value of this title, what do I think the value is? Because ultimately, you know, I'm here to just tell you my opinions on a few things and what the game has and is, and ultimately I hope you can come to the conclusion of whether it will interest you or not, and not try to dictate whether the game should interest you or not. Because I don't feel like that's a reviewer's job, is to demand you acknowledge whether they think a game is great or not. I think they should inform you so you as a customer can be informed on whether you think this product will suit you and whether you should make a purchase of it or not. Which is one of the reasons, along with other reasons, I really like my value system. Because I'm not here to tell you to avoid or buy. I'm here to give you an idea what I think the game's value is, if this meets your interest. What do I think Legend of Skyfish is? I think it is $5 on it. So it's a little overpriced in my opinion. The game goes for $7.99 on everything except for mobile. Oddly enough, on mobile, it's $3.99, which is underpriced in that sense. I think a nice 5 is good for like 3 hours of entertainment. Like I said, it's pretty simplified to that. You know, if they went super Undertale-y or something, you know, there's a lot of good music and style and art and that. Like, that'd be different. But honestly, the kind of graphical look looks like a simple kind of Flash type deal. So nothing like amazingly crazy there. So, but yeah, on PlayStation 4, Vita, Microsoft, and Switch, $7.99. Oh, and Steam, of course, $7.99. Now, this would be the kind of title I would probably tell you, unless you really have to have it on the Switch. Or I guess in this sense, you could probably play it on the Steam Deck. Which, you know, has Steam actually made a system on whether it tells you if it works on the Steam Deck, actually? Yeah, because if it does, I need to, like, incorporate that into information. As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like anything like that. I might need to look into that. Because, you know, Steam Deck's been out for a while. I don't know if there's any, like, way of informing people on what does or doesn't work on it. But, if the portability isn't a selling aspect, this would be the kind of thing I would tell you to get DRM free. Sadly, as far as I can tell, this game is not available DRM free anywhere, according to searches I've done. So, yeah, that kinda sucks. But what can you do? But, yeah, you know, other than that, if you want this game physically, you will have a few options still if you want to get brand new. Now, the Switch version is sold out, so this only pertains to the PS4 version, but you can still get Legend of the Skyfish from Red Arts Games on the PS4. And then, of course, a very lovely company that I recommend for a lot of titles. I've been buying lots of stuff from Video Games Plus. Very nice Canadian store. The only bad thing about them is don't get a lot of good sales off of them, but if you're looking to buy things brand new, they're fantastic. Especially if you trigger the free shipping, which is $80 in Canadian. It is important to note they are displaying Canadian dollars, which are less valued than the American dollar. So if you live in America, the simplest way is to take about $10 off of it, but that's not necessarily the exact, you know, change in money. But either way, very good place to usually get a lot of those stuff for that. But you can also get from Video Games Plus, also on the PS4. But if you need the Switch or want to see what it's going for on third party wise, let's see. There are PS4 versions going between 25, but mostly around 30 buck range on eBay. And for the Switch version, looks like the Switch version's floating between $32 to $50 on eBay. Prices that I would be putting, yeah. Honestly, this is a tough sale for more than $19.99. Like I always say, $19.99 is the justifiable low point if a because, you know, obviously physical costs some money to make. And I feel like that's the fail point in justifying those costs of making a physical version while having the game be physical. This is the type title I think it's kind of hard to justify being more than $19.99 physical, but ultimately, you know whether you want to go down that branch or not. For you, again, I'm just here to inform you about things. Overall, though, pretty forgettable title in my opinion. Nothing too amazing. So, those are my thoughts on The Legend of Skyfish. Nothing really to spoil. The story is very bare bones. And the ending is just, you know, happy ever after. So there's nothing really to go in now. So if you feel like you learned anything interesting, which is probably not, because this is a very bare bones game, feel free to leave a like. And if you feel like you learned absolutely nothing at all aside from this game existing, I guess feel free to leave a dislike guilt-free. And until next time, the Proving Grounds, wish me luck, because I'm editing my Elden Ring video probably by this point, and oh lord, it's always 60 minutes of freaking review, and I still have to go over other elements. Like, just going over the open world game, like the aspect of the open world, was like fucking 30-40 minutes. Oh lord, save me now. Till next time.